Why is the sky red? What did I do? What did I do? I think... Oh! What the hell?
What was that?
What are these? Obelisks? That's a triangle. They've made a triangle in it.
Whoa.
Oh, shit! Oh! Well,
Are you supposed to be out of the booth?
I'm getting back in the booth. Beard meets food.
Story of my life.
Yeah. So as you can see, we are some beardy boys here.
Some beardy boys.
Yeah. And, you know, if you all want to see some beardy boy stuff, feel free to, you know, check out links to our podcast that we got and everything.
Yeah.
But a fellow beardy bro out there is a man named Beard Meets Food. Beard Meets Food is a competitive eater from the UK who basically goes around the world and tries to beat all of the food challenges at every restaurant.
Damn.
And he's basically, it's man versus food, but no shitty overproduction or anything like that. It's just raw, straightforward. He like talks about the place. He's like, so from what I understand, this place was made in like was opened in like 1947, like by a World War II veteran, which is pretty fucking cool. And he has a challenge here for a steak that he supposedly ate one time. So I'm gonna try that. I'll see what I think about it. And
cool.
And it's fucking awesome. And I've seen him do a lot of challenges, and he murks these challenges, dude. I'm talking just like
crazy shit,
like absolutely insane stuff.
Yeah.
And some challenges that have never been beaten, and he's the first one.
Damn.
And he also pays tribute to others who've come before him. You know, like
Very cool.
versus food. Like he's actually looked at the board where like man versus food like came through. It was like one of my heroes right there, Adam Richmond. God, I'd love to gorge into something with him one time. Be one of the coolest things ever. I love the fact that he pays tribute to the past, and he's also a big time metalhead.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so he's Beard Meets Food. I love the guy to death, and unfortunately, he hasn't beaten every challenge that he's gone up against. But there hasn't really been one I would say is like utterly dominated him. You know,
right?
Embarrassed him in terms of like how much food he left behind. But I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump on in. This is all 14 challenges that Beard Meets Food couldn't beat by Sonny V2. Let us go.
Of the 590 eating challenges posted to his channel, Beard Meets Food has failed only 14. So from the
That's a pretty good failure rate. Only 14 times out of 590.
Right?
Sheesh.
And we're gonna go over each round.
Oh, the pancake. That one right there, dude. The pancake one. That was ridiculous. I don't know how anyone could ever eat that much. Ever.
For example, where the restaurant beat him, beginning with the undefeated Yorkshire pudding burger, which was the first challenge uploaded to his channel, which Beard couldn't finish. When Adam attempted the challenge back in February 2015, he'd been uploading YouTube videos for only 2 weeks, and as a result the production is fairly basic. However, he didn't need multiple angles and a 4K camera to show just how difficult this challenge was. As highlighted in the description, the challenge featured a 40-ounce burger, topped with mozzarella chicken, beef brisket and gravy, accompanied by a pint of shake and a pound of thick-cut fries. Although over the top of some extra loud music, Adam explained that the most difficult part of the challenge was the 25-minute time limit, which simply wasn't enough to finish the fries, marking the first ever defeat on the Beard Meets Food channel.
Just couldn't eat quickly enough, and I think that's one thing I'm going to have to improve on if I'm going to take it to the next level. So.
And while you might be thinking that Beard failed because he was new to professional eating, this couldn't have been further from the truth. Even at the beginning of his channel back in 2015, he'd explained that he was the UK's best professional eater, and only 1 month after he failed the Yorkshire Burger Challenge, he'd beat a giant naan bread challenge that was so difficult you won an overseas holiday just for finishing the meal. This showed that Beard Meets Food was a pro even in the beginning.
See, dude works out.
Yeah.
Dude stays in shape.
Yeah. You
Unlike
gotta
me,
be a beast, dude.
Yeah, unlike me, who is A-shape, You know, that's just how
Although
it
he
is.
still wasn't good enough to beat the 1.2 meter hot dog challenge at Huckleberry's Diner. Attempted only 1 month after the previous failure, the video is still fairly basic, although Beard's able to get a clear shot of the 4-foot monstrosity, which the restaurant gave him an hour to finish. Only 11 minutes into the challenge, Beard is down to the bread, and it seems as though he's going to beat it, but he's then handed another hot dog that he
Yeah.
What?
Surprise.
Oh.
eyes, showing that he was really only halfway. Things became even worse after Beard explained that the chef accidentally used a heavy baguette instead of
Oh.
Yeah.
a dog bun, and for this reason it took Adam more than half an hour just to eat the bread. By the 52-minute mark it looked like he was going to finish, although with 1 minute remaining there were still 2 bites left, to which his mouth was saying yes but his stomach was saying no. The Beard simply couldn't swallow the final part of the meal, but while this hot dog failure had come down to a matter of 2 mouthfuls, his next defeat was significantly more pronounced when he'd take on the 10-pound
Oh my
cheesecake challenge
God.
10 pounds of cheesecake.
Oh, dude.
9 months later, undertaken at the very same restaurant where he'd failed the 4-foot
Huckleberries,
hot
yeah.
dog challenge, Beard began by showing that the 10-pound cheesecake was bigger than his head, although he'd also explained that it was a 2-man challenge, so he had a person by the name of John who was there to help him finish it. The only problem was the rules stated that they couldn't both be eating at the same time, so the other guy went first and tapped out after eating only one of the cake's 6 slices.
Really?
This meant that Adam was left with over 80%.
Okay, it's at this point I'd be like, no, go find you another competitive eating
God,
buddy
dude.
to do this with you, because that's just not fair to him.
That's ungodly, dude.
That's
Oh.
8 pounds of cheesecake.
Has to be.
Or no, that's over 8 pounds, because 1/6 of 10, that is, that's 1.6 pounds per slice, so that's over 8, that's 8.3 pounds of cheesecake that this dude has to eat by himself. That's ridiculous, man. Get you a better teammate next time.
I would just be afraid that this guy's gonna fucking die doing this shit, man.
Well,
God.
he approaches it from a very healthy standpoint. What I mean by that is he basically stretches his he has his stomach stretched, as you know most competitive eaters do, but also he takes stuff to help him digest the stuff easier, and he does stay in shape, and he normally drinks water, or he drinks with water and everything, or he eats with water and everything. So it's not like he's because eating this many calories, that's one thing. Drinking that many calories, it's easier to drink calories than it is to eat them.
Right.
And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. And that's one reason why I'm trying to switch off of Cokes, because Cokes have a lot of calories versus some meals that are like big burgers and stuff like that. They actually have less calories than 2 or 3 Cokes.
Right.
And it's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Of the cake to finish on his own, which he'd do while explaining that the cheesecake was so dense he had to throw it up after attempting the challenge.
Oh,
He
God,
had to admit
dude.
defeat with around 1.5 slices remaining, although he probably gets a pass given it was a 2-man
Yeah,
job.
that's what I
However,
say.
The only excuse for the next challenge he'd fail was that it was simply stupidly difficult. Beard began the video by explaining that he tried the challenge in the past.
I tried this about a year ago, probably a little bit more. It's basically 7 pounds of barbecue food.
And while 7 pounds of barbecue food sounds like a pretty delicious meal, the difficulty of this challenge can only be recognized by reading the list of items involved. 12 chicken wings, full rack of ribs, sausages, 6 slices of beef brisket, 2 pounds of fries, coleslaw, 4 bread buns, 3 pots of
Stupid.
beans, 1 pot of jalapenos,
No.
5 strips of pork crackling, and mounds of pulled pork.
Those jalapenos fuck everything up. I'm
Yes.
sure it
Or-
turns your stomach into a nightmare zone after that.
Made even more difficult by the explanation that almost all ingredients seem to have doubled in size compared to my last attempt, and though I'm sure it wasn't intentional, this meal is far heavier than 7 pounds. The Beard was able to get through an impressive amount of food, however he eventually succumbed to the sheer amount of meat. But in case 7 pounds of barbecue food wasn't already hard enough, only 1 month later he'd upload a new video trying to beat a challenge that was so difficult, the restaurant had to downsize the meal afterwards as they realized nobody would ever beat it. Titled the 11-pound chicken and waffles challenge, Adam began by stating that this was going to be his hardest challenge ever.
I'm going to be taking on probably my toughest challenge yet. This eating challenge is called No Cooking Chance.
Before going on to explain that he needed to eat 4 Louisiana chickens, 4 deep-fried chickens, 8 waffles, onions, onion rings, corn, and 3 pounds of cheesy fries.
Oh my god.
However, it seemed the beard was being humble, as he didn't mention the bacon on the sides as well as the pickles, which
Oh man.
covered everything. Beard then expressed concern over the 40-minute time limit.
This is a 40-minute time limit, which damn near makes it impossible for all but about 3 people in the entire universe.
As well as the dryness of the waffles, and by the 30-minute mark, Adam stated that he knew he couldn't finish. He'd throw in the towel with a minute remaining.
Don't care who you are, ain't nobody eating that amount of food in a minute.
Which was followed by a sentence in the description reading, "The challenge has since been downsized to encourage participation." Although it seemed this defeat would actually lead to a string of successes, as the beard wouldn't upload another failure for over 15 months, until he was eventually undone by the undefeated Meat Mountain. Located at Tavasoli's Bar and Grill, Adam described the Meat Mountain as one of the
The Mayweather of meals.
most difficult eating challenges I've seen for a long time, which was supported by the scorecard on the wall behind him, showing that there were 8 failures and not a single winner. If there was one man for the job, it was going to be Beard Meat's food. However, he'd need to get through a 9-pound garbage plate of fries, hash browns, mozzarella dippers, bacon, pulled pork, burger patties, chorizo, garlic mayo, and sweet chili sauce, accompanied by a pint of Kinder Bueno milkshake, all of which has to be finished within
20 minutes.
20 minutes for 9.
What is with these weirdly short time limits?
No,
I don't
dude.
understand.
Dude, give him an hour.
Right?
For anything over 5 pounds.
9 pounds of garbage plate of fries, dude.
Yeah.
Hash
Fries,
browns, mozzarella. God.
Bacon, pulled pork.
The chorizo is where I'm like, dude, this is going to wreck your stomach.
Yeah.
minutes.
That's
is a
crazy
amount of food for 20 minutes. I'm not really surprised that nobody had done it before.
Wearing a t-shirt which stated "Count blessings, not calories," the beard began to
That's a
smash
good
his
one.
meal, interrupting himself only when asking for more water. By the 15-minute mark, he stated that the meal felt like a bottomless pit of food, and by the 19-minute mark, Adam accepted that he didn't have enough time. He'd gone to make the slightly arrogant yet incredibly factual statement that,
To be honest, not many restaurants that do eating challenges manage to beat me.
which was supported by him not
And it's
failing
true.
a single restaurant challenge over the next 2 years.
590 videos of him doing this, and he's only lost 14. That is a success rate of, let's see, 97%, I think. Yeah, that's a failure rate of about 90, or like a success rate of around like over 97%.
God.
So yeah, the dude's got a great winning rate.
Mm-hmm.
However, when he'd come up against the incredibly unique Bangers and Mash challenge,
Oh,
the Beard's
Bangers and Mash.
24-month winning streak would finally come
Banger
to an
sausage
end.
and mash.
Described below the video as ludicrously difficult, Adam was shocked by what the challenge involved,
You get
30.
which became
30
even worse
sausages.
after the server told him the amount of time he had to do it in.
You gotta finish it all in, is it 1 hour? 20 minutes?
Dude, an hour. What's wrong with like giving them an hour? Like that gives them time for their stomach to settle a little bit so that they can get a second wind. 20 minutes, you're not going to get a second wind.
No.
Oh my lord, I should have just done the little burger. This could be the first restaurant challenge I failed in.
It's been 84 years.
It was obvious that Adam was unconfident from the get-go, made even worse after he'd start and discover each sausage was too hot to eat.
Each sausage is still like freaking blazing hot.
Adam's confidence continued to drop after realizing that he also had to eat a whole cauliflower afterwards, and while he did give it a red-hot shot, Beard was eventually defeated by the time limit, although not before the restaurant offered him a free t-shirt for his efforts anyway.
I feel like I should give you a t-shirt.
However, there was no t-shirt being offered by Low, Slow, and Dough,
Oh.
as the Beard had no chance of beating their burrito challenge.
burrito
The chef
challenge.
came out to personally explain the magnitude of the meal,
It's just over a foot long, weighs about 2.5 kilos.
before the owner talked about how many people had beaten it.
Has anyone finished it yet? I've seen a few people have attempted it and failed miserably.
Everyone's failed. Everyone so far.
This was undefeated.
Adam then explained that the meal was much larger in real life than it looked in the photos,
which turned out to be way bigger than the pictures indicate,
leading to the suspicion that the restaurant had packed it on, as they knew who he was.
This is one of the reasons I try not to announce that I'm turning up somewhere in advance. Yeah, the chef piled it on here. I mean, I don't mind that, you know, but this was tough going.
Beard had demolished the entire burrito within 2 or 3 minutes. However, the
Jeez.
halloumi was almost...
See, that's just how much of a badass this guy is. 2 to 3 minutes, the burrito's killed.
Yeah.
But it's just everything else. It's the little things that are added on afterwards that just like pile on, that just, ugh.
impossible to get down in the 17 minutes remaining, with Adam describing the challenge as...
I just had a bad day at the office. I suppose it happens in all careers.
After being unable to finish the churros, he stated that he planned on returning.
It is definitely doable, so I'll be back.
Which he'd do 5 months later, getting revenge on the challenge with 45 seconds left on the
Damn.
clock.
My
45
man.
seconds was still favorable.
God.
Oh.
0 seconds he had left when attempting the Breakfast Club's 50-item fry-up. Eggs, bacon, beans, mushrooms, the list went on and on. 50 different breakfast pieces, including a full bowl of potatoes, which counted as only 1 item. It's really no wonder why Adam described the breakfast as so massive light actually bends around it. However, the primary concern might have been the time limit.
You get, what, 30 minutes to finish? That's going to be tough.
As Adam began to eat, it was obvious that he was doubting his own ability.
30 minutes. Again.
That's so dumb, dude.
You could probably see in my face that I'm not quite as self-confident.
With his lack of confidence becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, as he began to chat with the other people in the restaurant about how he got into professional eating. After passing the 13-minute mark, Adam acknowledged his lack of speed in the first half.
I don't think I took it quite seriously enough from the start. I think I was pretty slow at the gate. I'm 15 minutes in. How have I got all this food left?
I think the Breakfast Club is going to defeat me.
And by the 23-minute mark, he'd accepted that there was no way he was eating the potatoes.
I don't think I'm going to finish this now in 30 minutes. I think I'm defeated. There's no way I can do this in 3 minutes.
In spite of the failure, the Breakfast Club were nice enough to offer him a t-shirt, but it was lucky that the next place he'd be defeated also offered funerals, as Fletcher's Olympic calzone damn near killed him. Beard described the challenge as a calamity from the get-go, as after realizing that the food was piping hot, he had to eat the crust around the outside while waiting for the middle to cool down. When it was finally cool enough to eat, Adam quickly tired from the sheer quantity of pepperoni, ending the challenge somewhat anticlimactically by stating,
I can't face any more pepperoni, that's all it is. Mate, I can't do the pepperoni's just destroying me. I can't stand the taste of it anymore. I'll take the loss.
However, at least Beard was able to leave the restaurant in a calm state, as the next challenge he'd fail looked so different from the pictures that he'd almost get into an argument with the restaurant. The online photo showed a small pot of chips, 1 scoop of ice cream, and a relatively small burger. However, the portion served to Beard featured a literal colander.
Okay, that's bullshit. Look at that. Look at that cup, about like that big, right?
Yeah. A massive bowl. Yeah.
Something doesn't seem right here. And then also 1 scoop of ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. Boom, 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 boom. That's like 6 scoops.
Yeah.
And then the burger is like half as tall as this one. Talk about stacking the deck, man.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Look, if a food guy comes through and is doing his thing, you know, don't.
It's free publicity.
It is. Don't do a specialty thing. Don't do something to especially beat him just so that you could if you're like the honor of your restaurant, bro. I mean, this is like the honor of your restaurant. A professional eater, a famous YouTuber is coming through, and you're going to serve him up a plate that is impossible for him to finish. What does that prove? You're literally stacking the deck against him. Mm-hmm. You're literally breaking your own rules to beat him just so that you can say you have a victory over this. Dude, no. If he wins, he wins.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be afraid if your challenge is beaten.
Of chips, 8 scoops of ice cream and a tower burger, causing a bit of a scuffle between him and the restaurant.
It's not the same bucket. Look at it. That's a full one. That one is far apart like that. Come on, big man. That's like a normal fucking fries. It's a challenge. Oh, hey, man. god, a bunch of con men. Look at the size of those chips.
The other problem Adam faced was that the timer started as soon as the food hit the table, and since he'd spent the first 6 minutes arguing, introducing, and taking pictures for the thumbnail, he was left with less than 24 minutes to eat the actual meal.
That's nonsense, dude. Fucking nonsense. And this restaurant...
I wouldn't count it.
No. This
No.
restaurant should be ashamed of themselves, dude.
Yeah.
Should be ashamed of themselves for putting him
Well, they
through
knew what
this.
they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
They wanted a victory
obvious.
over beard meets food. Dude, come on.
It's pretty obvious.
If I win this, it's gonna be a miracle, man, because I don't know how long I've been going this. Come on, man.
As is obvious in that clip, Adam wasn't in the best state of mind from the get-go, almost like he wanted to lose just to prove to the restaurant that the portion size was unbeatable.
I think I've got about 10 minutes left, maybe, if that. What a flipping con.
As the challenge continued, Adam stated that he'd never been this angry during a meal.
This is about as grumpy as you'll ever see me, but, you know, with good reason.
Which is followed by him accepting defeat with around 4 minutes remaining.
I'm done. I'm just waiting for the guy to come over now.
However, while Adam gets somewhat of a pass for this defeat, the only justification for his next failure was that it was probably the
Holy
largest...
God.
Look at the beans, dude. Beans, mushrooms, fried egg. Dude, holy
challenge
shit.
ever posted to his channel.
That's
Located
just
at Connor's Cafe
silly,
in
dude.
Wigston, the channel going by the name of the Loza Sandwich had been attempted by over 50 people without a single success, and after it came out onto the table, there was no
That's a loaf of bread.
That is a literal loaf of bread, dude. Look at that.
question as to why. The monstrous sandwich featured a full baguette, half a dozen eggs, half a loaf of bread, as well as fries, beans, mushrooms, and chorizo. Thankfully, the meal was incredibly well priced should Adam be defeated.
12 quid? I come down here and eat every day for breakfast.
Although on top of the £12 cost, failed challenges also required a £10 donation to charity, which was a pretty cool idea by the restaurant.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. $12 for pounds. I when I say dollars, don't assume that. But £12 English for for the meal itself, which translates out to about $15.31. But yeah, and a $10 dono to the charity, which I think that is a very, very good thing for the restaurant.
For that amount of food, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
And they prepared it and all that. So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I would order that. I wouldn't do the challenge. I'd just order that and just be like, hey.
Have the boys over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, take a slice, brother.
Adam's least favorite food was getting in the way of the challenge.
The mushrooms.
So gonna get those out of the way.
As was the owner in a pretty funny way. By the 21-minute mark,
Oh, man, bring the other half out. Fucking dick.
And although with 4 minutes remaining, he'd accept that it wasn't happening.
White flag.
I'm gonna have to give in. Yeah, congratulations. It's not often I'm beaten.
However, while the Loza sandwich looked almost impossible from the start, his next failure was the opposite.
Oh, yeah. The big stack.
Some big old
the
cakes.
flapjacks. I remember seeing this one and just saying to myself, how? How can someone eat that?
The 10-pound pancake challenge looked fairly straightforward, yet it turned out to be unbelievably difficult. The video began with the
I love pancakes, all right?
Yeah,
I
me too.
love pancakes. Like
I like
good
waffles better, but
Oh yeah, waffles. I will say here's the tier list in terms of just like if it's good, like well made, French toast, waffles, pancakes. But if you're going to a place that you've never eaten at before, pancakes are usually across the board easier to make and a lot easier and a lot less. It's a lot harder to fuck up pancakes than it is French toast because I've had some French toast at some places, dude. God awful.
Oh,
Holy
it's
shit.
it's more often than not I will hate the French toast.
Yeah. Now, if it's French toast that I know will be good from a place that I know and trust, then I'm all good.
There's a fine line between French toast and a half-ass attempt that's just gross, sweet eggs on toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
If
not
you don't mix the mix right,
It's
it
like-
just tastes like gross eggs on toast.
It's like, dude, you're not making eggs in a nest.
Yeah.
You're making French toast.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Anyway.
explanation that in over 14 years it had almost never been beaten.
Only 3 people have done it so far, right?
Yes.
Made even more difficult by questions and photos from countless friendly fans. In addition to this, a comment on the video stated, "Those pancakes look way bigger / thicker than in the other videos I've seen from this same challenge," showing that he might have gotten unlucky in terms of pancake size. Despite this, the Beard gave it his best shot, although it took only 6 minutes and 33 seconds before Adam was confident he wouldn't finish. He'd spend the next 19 minutes slowly devouring as much as he could. However, the time limit was no issue on this one, as he'd throw in the towel with over 35 minutes left on the clock, showing that there was simply too much food.
I had an hour, but I've only got like 30 minutes left. I don't even think I'm gonna get close to this one.
And while every defeat so far came from either time constraints or portion sizes, it'd be the 4 million Scoville spicy noodle.
Oh, brother.
Oh, I feel sorry for his
presented a
butthole.
brand new problem. The meal was just too damn hot.
I read on the internet that this is the spiciest ramen challenge in America.
The manager explained that over 300 people had attempted the bowl without success.
300 attempts and nobody's finished. I'm not the man for this assignment.
With the challenge being so wild that Adam had to sign a waiver just to eat the meal.
You don't want that. That's not what you want.
No.
Nah.
The 3-pound bowl of ramen had to be finished in under 8 minutes, although impossibly his least confident.
Okay. 8 minutes.
That's just pure idiocy.
15 at least, dude.
Come
For 3
on.
pounds? 3 pounds of food?
Come on.
Come on, dude.
State ever. Adam said it wasn't happening after only 19 seconds. Despite this, the Beard made a pretty solid attempt, with the restaurant saying it was one of the best efforts so far. Yet this would also mark his 14th and most recent restaurant defeat out of the 590 challenges attempted on his channel.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Beard meets food, ladies and gentlemen.
A mad lad.
A legend of the internet. And honestly, I'm glad to have like witnessed his channel grow over the last couple of years. I know I haven't been around, I haven't seen his channel as long as I know some other people out there have.
Yeah.
But still, when I discovered him, I was just like, huh, this guy actually is like very genuine. He's like very straightforward. He's not, because I used to like Man vs. Food. Going back and watching the Man vs. Food like reruns and stuff like that they put on YouTube, I'm like, this is overproduced. There's way too much fluff going on here to pad out the 30-minute runtime. Little advertisement thing here and there. It's like, I understand, like, for the time.
They're doing too much.
Yeah, but here, this is just straightforward, to the cut, like, in the cut. It has no fat to it anymore. Because I went back and watched some of his older videos, and yeah, you could clearly tell he had never done a vlogging style thing before, and he's only gotten better the more that he's done it. And he's persevered, and now he's almost at 3 million subs, I think.
Good God.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to go around the world and do these challenges and just completely like decimate every restaurant that he comes across. It's just like, we have a challenge that's never been beaten. He's just like, fancy that. And then he comes
Here
in
I
just,
be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But, all right, everybody. I think that is going to do it. This was all 14 challenges that Beard Meets Food could not beat. If you want to see more from Beard Meets Food, feel free to check him out. I'll probably have his name linked in the title of the video. And the same for Sonny V2, who made this amazing compilation video. And if you want to see more from They Call Me Hat Guy, feel free to check him out sometime. And until next time, everybody, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Chad.
Y'all be good people. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.